Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about why it is important before you go into a new environment to understand the culture that you are walking into. Whether you are a missionary or a guest pastor at a church or even just walking into somebody's house that you've only met a few times, it's really important to understand the culture that you are walking into, because knowing that helps you adapt to situations. It helps you not be surprised when somebody says something that you're like, whoa, that seems really aggressive. Why did they say that? That is just the culture of that spot. And knowing this is very beneficial. And Paul actually does this in the book of Acts. He goes around and he walks around and learns the culture of the place that he's in, and then he goes into the synagogue or whatever the temple is there, and he challenges the religious leaders of that place because he understands the culture. He understands what they believe. In fact, there's actually a really good demonstrational verse of this in Acts 17, verse 23, it says, "For as I walked around and looked carefully at your objects of worship, I even found an altar with this inscription, 'To an unknown God.' So you are ignorant of the very thing you worship." This is Paul showing the people in Athens that he is educated on what they believe. He's not some outsider coming in saying, hey, you should believe this because I'm telling you to, and because I'm such a happy person and it's such a great thing that you should listen to me and do this. No, he is saying this to show them, I have walked around, I have seen how you guys live, I have seen your culture, I understand your culture, and I see what is wrong with it, and what if you followed this, if you followed what I'm saying, how you could improve. Paul doesn't just come in and is like, y'all have idols, you're terrible, and how bad are you? No, he went around and he read the inscriptions of the idols. He knew what they were. He knew what they worshipped. Especially as a missionary, this is such an important thing to do. Because if you don't, you're going to be looked at like you're ignorant or you're crazy. And if you're looked at like that, good luck getting somebody to listen to you. You might get the occasional one or two that listen to you out of pity and then go like, oh, what you said is actually really smart. I'll think about that. But because they already labeled you as crazy or ignorant, it doesn't really sink in the way that you would like it to sink in. And so because of that, you need to make sure that when you are entering a new environment, you study the culture. Now, sure, are there cultures that we don't really know about? Yes. Know about yet. Yes. And in those situations, when you end up in some village where you don't even know the language, it's very important that you take time before telling them about Jesus, about the gospel. You take time beforehand to learn the language, to learn the culture, to learn what they believe, who this group of individuals are. And then you can introduce God to them, because then you know how to do it. You are equipped and have the skills to tell them about God. Because again, otherwise, you're just going to be ignorant and people are going to tune you out. They're going to hear you and go like, okay, cool. How does that apply to me? Oh, you don't know because you don't know me? You don't know my culture? Well, why do I need to listen to you? And they won't. They will most likely just ignore you. And that's not good. Because once you're ignored by that group, good luck getting back in. So I highly, highly encourage you, before you go and tell somebody or a group of people, and before you're a missionary, you learn the culture and the environment that you are stepping into so that you can step into it boldly for Christ and you can tell them about him and about who he is without making yourself look foolish. I hope this helped. Bye!